Well, hello everybody, Louise Eddington, Cosmic Owl Astrology, and today it's my very great pleasure to have with me on my channel Celeste Brooks. She is a fellow astrologer, a fellow OPA member, and I'm getting to know her quite well through our mutual membership of the Organization for Professional Astrology, and she's a ton of fun. And we're here today to talk about Jupiter in Cancer. But Celeste, first, just tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Celeste Brooks, an astrologer, a coach, and an intuitive. I'm the host of the Celestial Insights podcast, which helps you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. It drops every Sunday wherever you listen to podcasts. My background is I spent 25 plus years in corporate sales, marketing, and business development before a Uranus transit encouraged me to pursue my passion and purpose of being an astrologer full time. So I retired early from my corporate career. I love giving personal readings. I do rectification. So if you don't know your birth time, I can help you back calculate it through events. I teach classes with Kepler College as well as my own. And Louise and I are both going to be part of the OPA Cosmic Shift retreat in Park City, Utah, October 15th through 19th of this year. I'm going to do a 3-day intensive about predictive astrology. It is going to be fantastic. What are you doing, Louise? Are you doing a peer
I'm,
group?
I'm running an in-person peer group, and I believe I only have one spot left.
Okay.
Mine sold out nearly right away.
Yeah, I bet your
Yeah.
peer group is going to be amazing. Grab that last spot if you like, or I have some more spots in my group, but this is going to be fantastic. Last year we
Yeah,
had a spectacular time
we
in
did, and
Park City.
it's such a beautiful location, and yeah, October's perfect time of year. So yes, come and spend October in the mountains with us. So
Yeah. Oh, and I should say my business is Astrology by Celeste. You can find me at astrologybyceleste.com or Astrology by Celeste on all the socials.
And you spend a lot of time on threads, don't you? Which are not a
I
lot.
do like
Yeah,
threads.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not being as wild as I was. Saturn and Aries is like getting me
Oh,
some structure. Well,
oh no, I liked your wild. Anyway,
I know. Well, who knows? It'll pop back in
it
and
will.
out.
Yeah.
I like writing, like, I like giving certain transits. Just stream of consciousness. I'll get themes that come through, or I do little predictions. It's like I'm the Oracle of Oakland. Sometimes they're really cryptic.
But rectification, it's valuable to know somebody that likes doing rectification because, it takes a certain kind of person to really want to do it because it's quite detailed. So Celeste is your person because the person who rectified my chart is no longer doing it, I think, or at least she's taking a break. So
Mm.
I rectified my own chart using a couple of techniques and my pendulum. And then I confirmed it with somebody who used all the dates and she got the same time. So there you go.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't on your birth time. Did you have birth certificate? Did you have any idea?
My mum told me it was 10 past 9 in the morning, but that gave me a Capricorn rising and it
Ah,
never felt right to Capricorn. So I played with my own time and got almost 29 degrees Sagittarius, and that's what I
oh,
am,
that makes far more sense.
doesn't it? Yes. So today we are going to talk about Jupiter in Cancer. Let me just quickly talk the dates, and then I'm just going to let Celeste say her first thoughts on it, and then we're just going to talk about stuff. So Jupiter is entering Cancer June the 9th. and will be there till June the 30th, 2026. Jupiter always spends about a year in a sign because it's got a 12-year orb, and Jupiter will retrograde from November the 11th to March the 11th, from 25 to 15 degrees Cancer. So we'll probably talk about all of that. But first of all, do you want to give me your first thoughts about Jupiter in Cancer?
Yeah, so Jupiter is the greater benefic. And in the solar system, it's the biggest planet and it's thought to protect the Earth from space junk. So this is a wonderful transit, getting Jupiter out of the sign of its detriment, which is Gemini, which there's just so much information going all over the place. And what can you believe? What can you not believe? It's too much. People's nervous systems are on overload. So when Jupiter goes into Cancer, it moves from detriment to the sign of its exaltation. So there's going to be something where I think people around the world are going to feel like a sense of some kind of relief.
Mm,
Emotionally, it's more, we're moving from yang energy to yin energy. So people, to help people feel more emotionally contented
mhm,
and at peace in some ways. Now, as soon as it moves into the sign, it starts the square to Saturn and Aries. So there's tension there, but there's something that is going to be more calming
mm,
about the internal energy. And I think people are already feeling it with the Saturn and Aries transit. Like when this administration first came into being, people terrified, scared. What are they doing? The talking about the whole country's going to go red, this, that, the other thing. And it started with Mars retrograde in Cancer, and it's going very poorly
mhm.
for what their goals were. I mean, ruining the economy,
Oh,
causing all this calamity with the stock market, and firing all these people. I mean, just the other day, a South Carolina person won a state representative and like blew the Republican out of the water.
mhm,
So people are furious at the
yeah,
Republican Party. They're making it known.
mhm,
And people who were terrified are starting to become more like, okay, democracy is not over. It's not going to be easy, but we are going to fight this
mhm.
oppressive authoritarian regime and we're going to win.
And the courts are holding strong for the year as well, and they're beginning to fight amongst themselves openly rather than in the background. Elon Musk is left the regime, as I prefer to call it, and is speaking out against the big beautiful bill, or the big bloated bill, as I prefer to call it.
Oh, and he told people today to call their senators.
Oh, did he? Oh, I've missed that because I've
Yes,
been
and
on
how's
I've
it?
been on
So
Zoom nearly all day.
he's on Twitter, well, whatever you call it,
Yeah,
telling
I
people to call
Twitter.
their senators. So, I mean, that whole movement, which
Mhm,
was built of all these different factions, the tech bros who think they want to be, emperors, the Christian nationalists who want everybody just spend all day praying, and and they're false Christians as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned.
yeah,
And the who else is there? Just the white supremacists who just
yeah.
want, they're fighting amongst each other. It's all starting to implode in on itself in some ways. Now
Well,
it's still horrible. I mean,
mm,
they're and we're
and and the ice raids are really ramping up, which is horrible. But yeah, but
that
overall, a lot of what they want is not happening, and I think it's good for our mental health to look for what they're not achieving rather than what is the awful things, even though we have to support those hurt. But yeah, they're just a strange bedfellow of kind of groups, and it was bound to fall apart looking at the astrology, really. So
Oh yeah, they couldn't have picked a worse time to try to create the Fourth Reich.
So where would you like to go next? Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about Jupiter in Cancer in history? Because
Yeah, or should
I,
we
well, whichever way you want to go, Celeste, because I've,
Yeah, or just a little bit more about Jupiter and things
mm,
it rules.
mm,
So, Jupiter is expansive, it's exploratory. So, it rules things like higher education, long distance travel. Um, it is a benefic, so it aids to life. So doctors and hospitals, these places are Jupiterian, where you go to feel better.
mhm,
It speaks to wisdom and the truth and courts and things like that. So doctors, um,
mhm,
philosophers, professors, religious leaders, but also people who just are wealthy are also Jupiterian.
mhm.
Celebrities, people who are lucky are also Jupiterian. So we can we can see.
Jupiter's my ruling planet, so yeah,
Ah,
and I have Jupiter in Sagittarius, so yes,
ah,
I have a very lucky life.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
Mhm,
Jupiter rules the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces, so that's where it's at home and it can do what it does with ease. We already mentioned it's in detriment in the sign of Gemini, but also Virgo, where it struggles because yeah, it just struggles in these signs, but it's exalted in Cancer. So
mm,
there's something of the nature of it being lifted up. Um, and being invested in. And Cancer rules the homeland, home, family, foundations. We can think about fertility.
mhm,
Physically, Cancer rules the stomach and the breasts. And we know we're going to be having nationalistic policies
oh,
meant to protect the country, as will be part of the story. Looking backwards to the last time Jupiter was in the sign of Cancer, it was June 25th, 2013 through July 16th, 2014. So you can think about what was going on in your own life
mm,
at that time. These dates blow my mind because this was right after I got divorced.
oh,
Well, actually, I got separated from my ex-husband, and I got my condo around June 25th of when right after
an
Jupiter
actual
went into
home Cancer,
an
yeah,
actual home
yeah,
where I felt at peace, where
mhm,
I didn't have someone. Yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah,
we split up. We had been split up for a while, but I got my own home and a place of peace.
mm,
And then when around the 2014, that was when our divorce was final.
mm.
So it was like done with that and moved into Jupiter in Leo. And it was like, oh, yeah, I'm back. But in the collective, one of the biggest things that happened back then was the George Zimmerman
Mm,
trial. He murdered Trayvon Martin, who was a young man, a young black man in his own neighborhood, going home, but this security rent-a-cop who's very reminiscent of these ICE people that they're just pulling off the street to terrorize people.
mhm.
Um, he confronted and killed Trayvon Martin, and he got away with it. The jury found him not
Mm.
guilty. And on that same day, Black Lives Matter was founded by three women. And can I show the chart? Because I think
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
it's
I don't know if I've given you permission, so let me quickly do that. So make co-host. There we go. Yeah,
okay.
and I just want to say as well that Pope Francis then released the joy of the gospel, advocating for care of the poor and a more emotionally connected church. Um, and also DOMA was struck down back then by the Supreme Court, the Defence of Marriage Act, which was not good either. So,
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so
mm,
in line with
mm,
um, Jupiter in Cancer.
mhm,
Yes. And so this is the George Zimmerman verdict. And the thing that jumped out at me looking at this is you see Jupiter,
mm,
Neptune, and Saturn in
mm,
this really tight grand
mm,
trine in water. And three women, you see Venus at 19 Leo, created Black Lives Matter, and this feels like the three fates kind of
mm,
energy. They were so angry. Mars is in the sign of its fall in Cancer, and it's here on a world point. That they decided the sun is on a world point too.
mm,
22 and a half of cardinal signs are world points. They decided to take a leadership role, come together to fight injustice.
mm.
And I think that was really in line with this. But
And I
it's
think
really
I think on their
oh
website they actually called for ancestral healing and belonging, which are words that Cancerian words, right? So
yes. And so
yeah,
they came together,
yeah.
united. That's what
Mhm,
Jupiter does in order to protect families so that they
mhm,
didn't have to go through what the Martins had to go through. And I love that ancestral healing.
mm. Yeah,
Mhm.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was such reminiscent of,
Mm,
you know, because what can happen with this energy, the goal is to protect the homeland, but who are you hurting by protecting the homeland? And
yes.
And in this time, Jupiter goes into Cancer in a square to Saturn and Neptune, which are together in Aries. So that
Mm.
adds another detail and complexity to this transit.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And of course, the USA is a Cancerian country as well. So, it often um, is impacted by this transit in some important way, right? So,
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, you.
Yeah. Oh, and I have a couple more things from back
Mm,
then.
yeah, keep going.
Obama had a climate plan that
Mm,
revived conversations about protecting the earth, which is our shared home. Now, this administration certainly is not going to do that, but we'll see it around the world, maybe in other places
mm,
or in certain states like California and other places coming up with things.
mm, mm.
How can we protect ourselves despite what's going on?
Or it might be so evident that we have to do something because of the increasing size of the storms, right? And
Yeah, the storms are out of control.
because
The
Jupiter does expand everything. So,
Yes, and the
yeah.
North Node's in Pisces, which is
Mm,
very expansive. And when
mhm.
Jupiter goes into Cancer, that feels like it's going to be, ooh, even more stormy weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Detroit filed bankruptcy back then. So
Oh.
that had like an echo of neglected communities, aging cities, housing crisis that required renewed investment. It'll be really interesting if something comes out soon about how Detroit has changed and
Mm,
improved over the last, what have you, 13 years. I don't know what's going on in Detroit.
I don't. I know it's revitalized from its worst back then. So,
Mhm.
I bet something does come to our attention, shall we say?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a government shutdown back there
Mm,
over domestic disagreements over infrastructure,
mm,
healthcare, housing, and access. Healthcare, they're trying to take Medicaid and
mm.
Medicare away from people. Will this be something, this big bloated bill, as you called it, that leads to well, I'm sure it is like some kind of standoff or face off or something.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So those are
people's basis of security will be threatened. Like,
exactly.
yeah, hmm yeah.
Yeah. So I think we will see a surge in ancestral healing. So if that's something that you offer, that could be something where you see a growth of your business around this time. Home-based rituals, that would be such a great thing to give people, where they get like these salts to take a
Mm.
bath and oils and things like that to, oh, that if anyone wants to give me a present. I love baths.
And I have a daughter who has a Cancer stellium, and she likes fluffy, soft things. So think fluffy and soft as well.
Mhm. Those are kinds of gifts will be really welcomed by people. And inner child work would be a
Mm,
great thing to do. Mm.
mhm.
If you're a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, make sure your birth control is together, unless you want.
Very fertile.
It's fertile. We are going to see a baby boom in some way, as well as countries trying to encourage people to have more children. We're already seeing that. They're
Or
talking
Elon
about,
Musk is trying to do it all on his own.
yeah, he's trying to have, maybe he'll show up with triplets. The next,
Oh.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, all of that. It's in my seventh house, and I,
Ooh.
there's no going to be no babies, but but I love that it's in my seventh house, and I look back, and they were always good times for my significant relationships, should I say? So,
Mhm.
hmm
Yeah. More to get, like, people may just wanna be at home more, like, have
hmm
parties at home.
mm
Staycation is a
mm
perfect thing to do with Jupiter in Cancer, where you don't go anywhere. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. Just because 'cause you're on vacation doesn't mean you have to leave your house. A staycation is one of my, well, I'm a Cancer rising, so that's one of my favorite things to do. And we're
yeah.
going to be seeing, well, with all of these immigration policies and
Mhm.
harassing tourists, less and less people are coming to the United States for tourism. So many businesses that focused on international travels are having to pivot and make
mm
themselves more appealing to people in their local community or just the country.
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. So
Mhm.
what's next?
Yeah. And
Oh,
so, yeah, so do you want to talk about any of the other Jupiter in Cancer? I can give you the dates.
well,
July.
yeah, I've got them as well. July 2001 to August the 1st, 2002. Um, there was, that was kind of the entry was quite challenging because 9/11 happened just before, but Homeland Security was formed under Jupiter in Cancer, which is homeland. So, and there was the axis of evil speech, which is kind of Cancer shadow. But the euro currency was launched in January 2002, which was a new shared economic home across many nations in Europe. And there was a huge rise in home values in the US at that time as well.
Mm,
That's all the notes I have on that one.
yeah, interesting. And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if there's any news about the euro
Mm,
coming up over the next year, as
yeah.
well as it's interesting, Poland just elected a far right leader.
Mm,
So we're seeing increases of nationalism,
mm.
and in Europe, they're really trying to manage this because
Leave
they've
that off.
been
Yeah.
there before, and it does not end well.
But conversely, we're also seeing a rise in unity amongst NATO countries and working together to protect the alliance, which is cancer as well. So you know, shine and shadow of all the things.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
but I think this it's like while we're recording this, Jupiter's still in Gemini
Mhm.
and Venus is the last day in Aries. So the benefics have really struggled
Yeah.
to give us their blessings. And Venus is moving into its home sign of Taurus for a month approximately. So that people will may feel a sense of more groundedness.
Definitely.
And then Jupiter's moving into its exaltation. So internally, you can be feeling better. Now, there may be some difficult economic stories because Jupiter's going to square Saturn in Aries. But let me show the chart for
Mm,
Jupiter's ingress because I
yeah.
think its ingress is really interesting. Here's
And
Jupiter
I'll,
entering.
I'll I'll just quickly mention that it was July 89 to 1990 for about a year before. We don't need to go through them all, just for people to think back, right? So, yeah. Cool. Let's have a look at this ingress then.
Yes. So the
Mhm.
June 9th. And what's something that's really interesting, let me animate the chart
Mm.
because, and I was studying this, I think we know the story, but the day before Jupiter
Mercury.
enters, we have this Mercury Jupiter conjunction at 29 degrees of
Mhm.
Gemini. So the 29th degree, the last degree of the sign,
Mm.
crisis and decay.
Mhm.
Mercury rules students, Jupiter rules colleges and professors. And I recorded my podcast yesterday and I was going on and on trying to tease out what's going to the big story is going to be about this because then Mercury moves into Cancer,
Mm.
and the
Followed
first thing
by
it does is square Saturn. So there's
yeah.
going to be difficult news, and then Jupiter moves into Cancer. And Columbia University, we found out today, the Trump administration is threatening to take away their accreditation. So
Well,
that's
and Harvard. He's got this battle with Harvard as well, and
uh-huh.
yeah.
But
I kind of think because Jupiter it's an opening square with Jupiter being the faster moving planet and Mercury. I kind of think the institutions might win out personally, but anyway, we'll see.
oh, I think over time the
Oh yeah.
institution will
Mhm.
definitely
But it's
win
definitely
out.
a crisis point. Yes.
Mhm,
Mhm,
mhm.
mhm,
So when Jupiter enters, yeah, when it enters the
mhm.
sign, yeah, there's something. And also with the Mercury Jupiter, I thought about wind, like tornadoes and things. So there
Oh,
may be big stories like that.
they could be.
But what I think part of this is going to be is potentially, this is a prediction,
Mhm.
that Beyonce's in England with her Cowboy Carter tour. And you
Oh.
see, when Jupiter enters Cancer, the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, a
Mm,
cowboy archetype. Exaltation suggests being lifted up, being honored, being esteemed.
mm.
Um, and celebrities are Jupiterian figures. I'm wondering if she is going to be named or get some kind of award from King
Good.
Charles
Well,
because
that last Jupiter in Cancer, Beyonce launched her surprise album in December of 2013. And yeah, so she was prominent then as well. And oh, I'm excited because that's where my nodes too, because my nodes are 0 Aries Libra. So
ah, and she has a now there's her time somebody was telling me it might be 904. I'm not sure. Anyway, the new moon in Gemini we're under is in a trine to her exalted Saturn in Libra.
Mm,
Gemini could be a new name, a new title,
mhm.
exaltation, and she's got this Jupiter Saturn conjunction. Yeah.
And the full moon coming up on the 11th. is
It could be that
aspecting
could be
her.
the day.
Well, it's aspecting her Venus. Oh.
Yes, the full moon's at 20 Sagittarius,
Hmm.
and I think she would get the award when the moon moves into Capricorn. We'll see.
Well, some kind of award anyway, or
Some kind. I want her to be a
yeah.
dame of the grand, oh, whatever the highest on. What's the highest honor?
I don't know. I don't know how many they give to foreign nationals as well. So
They
we'll see.
don't they don't usually, they
No.
don't usually, but I think it would be symbolic
Mm.
and kind of a clap back against this rising white supremacy.
And Charles does like music, and I think he has a soft spot for Beyonce.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, I don't know how soft the spot is, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, Louise.
Anyway.
So there's also often wealth contraction because Jupiter rules wealth and abundance, and it's squaring Saturn, which limits and contracts things. And these are the social planets. We've already had two squares, and they've been related in some ways to the election. There may be some additional news about election stuff. Have you talked about the Rockland case?
No, we have not. No, there's so many things going on, so many cases, but yeah, I just wonder about the addition of Neptune in Aries there as well, though. There's going to be a bit of confusion there as well. I kind of
Mhm.
think a bit of ups and downs in the news. So I think it'll be up for some people and contraction
Mhm.
for others. And let's hope it's contraction for people like the billionaires like Musk.
Mhm.
Oh, right?
Yes, yeah. The
Yeah.
one of my themes I got for this is how the mighty have fallen.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Hmm.
they like people who really gotten a little too big for their britches, because exaltation can also be themes of arrogance
Hmm.
or haughtiness. And on the day of, I think I wrote a thing on Threads about will King Charles reign on, whose parade, that the parade is happening on the 14th, but
Yes.
right before this a Jupiter Saturn square. So the Pope is talking on the 14th as well.
He's doing a public mass, isn't he? Yeah.
He's doing a
Live
public
streaming.
mass. There are protests
Hmm.
nationwide.
Hmm.
So this military parade where they're going to tear up Washington D.C. streets and cause, problems.
Hmm.
I think there's going to be the king, the leader of the regime is going to be a little disappointed by
I think it's
maybe,
going to be a damp squid, shall we say?
oh, what did you call
A
it?
damp squid. That's what they say in the UK. Like, just it's going to fall flat, which is Saturn. Saturn flattens. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think he's going to be disappointed, have his feelings hurt. He may
Yes.
even shed a tear with disappointment
Or throw
about
ketchup at the wall, a lot of it. So.
ketchup at the wall. Yes. Yeah. And look at
Mm.
Mars. Yeah, Mars is on his
On his
yeah,
ascendant. Yeah.
on his ascendant.
Oh.
The moon is at 14 Aquarius. So this gives
Mhm.
symbology. And that's a world point because 15 of the fixed signs.
Fixed sign.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
And
think
the
the
and the
peak.
moon in the people in the sign of the people, really. So
Mhm.
I think that's probably the protests. But the protests are not going to be in DC, I believe. Mostly they're going to
They're
be everywhere.
nationwide. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we've got this Mars Uranus energy. So
Mm.
hopefully there won't be any kind of,
Trouble.
hopefully they'll all be peaceful, but they're going to be
Well,
very loud, I would think.
very loud, and of course the Mars Uranus square is harking back to the conjunction from July last year that led to Biden stepping down and the apparent assassination attempt
Mhm.
on you know who. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is the third time they're squaring.
Yes, he needs an astrologer. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's better that he doesn't have an astrologer.
Oh no, I'm glad he hasn't got one, but yeah.
Yeah. So this
Anyway,
will
yeah.
be interesting. Another thing is interesting, the 18th, when Jupiter squares Neptune.
Mm,
Like something big is coming right around here, I think,
yes, I think.
because we have a last quarter moon at 27
Oh yeah.
Pisces,
Moon's conjunct Neptune. Oh look.
and then the moon goes through Saturn and Neptune before Jupiter squares, and
Mm,
it's all in the second house. So this could be some
mm,
big issue financially.
could be, yeah.
For
But
some.
but also kind of speaks to me of people rising up and institutions crumbling.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's in the fifth house. In the fifth
Mm,
house, well, Planned Parenthood just came to my mind.
mm,
Um, they've closed lots of clinics.
mm,
Yeah. There's
mm.
also, mm, we'll see, something that deals with children or fertility or
It could be,
fifth
yeah.
house or Las Vegas. Maybe there'll be some big thing about people. Las Vegas. How is Las Vegas going to survive
I
when
don't.
they travel has plummeted
But it's
internationally?
also the fifth house is also associated with gambling, not like Vegas gambling, but taking big risks. So
Mhm.
will you know, our leaders supposed take too big a risk and as
Mhm.
well, it could be all those things. Oh, I kind of like that Uranus is right here for that as well.
Yeah, look at
Right
Uranus
at
at
the
the.
bottom of the chart, the IC, which is the very root of the chart or the home, and so anyway, it's
Yeah,
going to
let's
be
just hope it's not, the ground's not shaking.
well.
Oh, you know what they're talking about? An underwater volcano erupting.
Oh, well, there's lots of seismic activity going on around and volcanoes are erupting, but let's hope for lots of little eruptions and earthquakes. Not
Yeah,
one big
let's
one. Yeah.
but look
Mm,
at here, Mars is in
mm,
the yod, ninth,
mm.
ruling the ninth house, and oh, something about the second house. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with this.
But this
Uh,
is this is open enemies, right? And so
mhm.
Mars will have moved on to Regulus because Regulus is in Virgo now, and maybe the women will come out against, who knows, the
Yeah.
priestess kind of energy.
Yes, I
Mm,
think like they're really going full bore
mm,
Handmaid's Tale in the United States.
yeah,
Just today, I read something about how there's an executive order repealing Biden's executive order saying hospitals had to treat women on the verge of death who needed some kind of abortion.
yeah.
Like you could have, are women just going to just die of ectopic pregnancies in certain places?
Mm. I think there might be a few before people go, no, we're not having this anymore. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if things like underground railroads and things really ramp up as well, though, in response, because that's very Cancerian protective as well. So, as always, there's kind of the yin and the yang, the response to what they're trying to do, I think. So
Mhm.
anyway, carry let's keep going. This is such an interesting journey, I think, through Cancer. Yeah.
It is. And I'm looking at this time as, I mean, this is the greatest story ever told
Mm.
When the North Node went into Pisces, it was with Neptune. It feels like we're watching a movie.
Oh.
The things that are happening, you can barely believe this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to have some detachment as much as we can. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if people have lost their jobs, I mean, yeah, how
Oh,
detached can you be? But
I know, but
yeah,
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 yeah.
it's but there is this energy of witnessing a
Mm-hmm.
turning point in history. And with Pluto in Aquarius, I'm going to just be confident that the people are going to rise up and be successful over the
Oh,
long term, even though
I
it's
th-
going to be difficult.
I think they will, and partly not just because of Jupiter in Cancer, but we've got all these other planets changing signs, and there's so much happening. We're in this massive, massive shift collectively. Have you looked at what's the date? I'm just going to get the date for you. I'd love your thoughts on it.
Oh,
Um, August the 12th, 2025, Jupiter conjunct Venus, and it's conjunct
I,
Sirius. Sirius, fixed star Sirius, the sun of our sun.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm.
Um, let's
It's
see.
on the USA's sun, of course. So,
Yeah. Well, let's look at it outside the Sibley chart. Yeah.
hmm.
And that's, is it August, which date? 11th or
August
12th?
12th. Well, it's August the 12th, very early in DC. So,
Ah,
um,
okay.
what
Let's
time in DC? 1:28 a.m. in DC.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Jupiter, this is really interesting. It
Isn't
could
it?
it could be someone really prominent
Hmm.
passes away is the first thing
Mm.
I saw thought because it's within 5 degrees of the eighth house.
Hmm.
Yeah, there could be a sense of mourning of someone very prominent.
Hmm.
Ah,
But Sirius being there as well, the sun of our sun, which is they're up there. Venus and Sirius will both be rising together in the east, which is
mm,
very rare, to be quite honest.
yeah.
I saw a presentation by Harmony Maria, Divine Harmony, and she said the ancient Egyptians predicted this conjunction of the three, the two benefics with Sirius, and I haven't kind of got my head around what I think of it yet because I don't work with the fixed stars a ton. I'm aware of them, obviously, but I think it's just really significant that it's on the sun of the USA, and um, I think it's a huge moment, to be honest. Uranus will have moved into Gemini by then, so we'll be feeling the Uranus return as well. Uh,
Hmm.
anything, and Mars, look right at the top of the chart, opposing Saturn, pretty much just before.
Let me
Any
try to
thoughts
get
on
it
all?
the exact time. Okay, so the moon will be in Pisces at that time.
At that degree where the nodes sat right through the eclipses in March,
Hmm.
and
Look at
Neptune was there too. So, uh,
mm,
yeah.
wow, and Mercury is I
Mm-hmm.
think something's coming a couple of days before it with the Mars Saturn Neptune opposition,
Mm-hmm.
and I just get ugh, like people somewhere in the world
Mm.
being rescued from something.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's just came, and in my mind, I thought buried under rubble, like,
Mm-hmm.
and people like coming out from under that because we've got this Mercury opposite Pluto. I felt like Baby Jessica. Do you remember when Baby Jessica fell
Yeah.
into the well?
Yeah, I
And there
do.
was all these people like came together
Mm.
in this crisis situation, like the whole country, and it was around the world, people heard about this little girl, this one little girl who fell into a well and got invested, and it took days for them to get her out.
I do
And
remember
when she was
that.
out, it was like this collective sense of joy and relief and
Mm,
happiness. And that to me is like
mm.
this. So maybe something happens, and this is a moment of
That draws people
celebration.
together. Yeah, too. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this will
It's a
be
day to watch anyway, people. It's wherever you are in the world, it's a big
Mhm.
that's a big conjunction, that
It's
one. Especially because Sirius, I don't, like I said, I don't really work with the fixed stars loads, but it is one of the most fortunate of this of the fixed
it's the
stars.
shining one.
Yeah,
Now it's also the scorcher. So,
true. Well,
mhm,
everything has its yeah.
mhm.
Hmm. Well, maybe it'll take a big climate event to pull people together.
It
Mhm.
could. Yeah, it
Yeah,
very well could.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but yeah, some people are definitely coming together. So if you have anything about 14 of the cardinal signs, so Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, ooh, this could be a really a time for
Mm,
you to be thinking about what you want to and who you want to partner with for
mm.
expansion and growth. And you may have some big success around this time.
Elon Musk has his ascendant at 13 Cancer, by the way.
Oh, he could ketamine himself into, into the next dimension. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't.
that's that's a good image in my mind. Anyway,
That's not fun. I'm just kidding. For entertainment only.
I just want to make our Tesla car cool again because we it's a lovely car and he's ruined it for us.
Oh,
But
do you have one?
yeah, and we love it. I wanted a Tesla for a long time, and then
Uh,
we finally got one, and now look what he's done. But anyway,
oh, maybe
we'll be
you could
fine.
like put something
Yeah,
else on the
yeah.
people have
I think I
renamed.
think I think it'll be good. I think something will happen, and Teslas will become cool again because he didn't even invent them anyway. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
so that's an interesting date. So did you have anything else to talk about? We're
let me see with my
almost at the
notes.
hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
National, I think food and water.
Mm.
So Jupiter square Saturn and Aries and Neptune can be crisis or arguments over water. And I'm wondering about the Colorado River
Mm.
because it goes through Canada, the US, and Mexico. Is there going to be some kind of conflict about water rights
Yeah.
between states, between nations? This could be something that
Mm.
comes up. Yeah.
Now, just looking a little bit further ahead, in fact, and we don't need to look at the chart, but we've just had a Venus Chiron Eris conjunction all at 25 Aries. Venus will move on, of course, but we see where Venus is going. But there's going to be repeated squares from Jupiter to Chiron and Eris. I don't know if you use Chiron and Eris much, but on the day of the
I use Chiron all the time, but Eris, I'm very interested in
Well,
Eris.
on
Yeah.
the day of the Venus Chiron Eris conjunction, we had the Trojan horse attacks within Russia by Ukraine. Literal.
Mhm.
And the story of Eris is about the Trojan horse. So, it's like you can make it up
Absolutely,
sometimes.
yes. Ah,
So I
I
just,
didn't make that connection. Like I saw Trojan horse, but I forgot. Yeah, Eris rolled that apple into the party and led to the whole Trojan War.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I just wonder what those squares. They're end of October, December 21st, and June next year. Jupiter's gonna repeat the square because of the retrogrades. So I just
Mm.
wonder if that's gonna really kind of, bring some tension, but also some fighting resolution for some of these moments that are going on, and some table flipping, literally, again, as well.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Putin, let's see how long
Mm.
I mean, this talk about, they're calling it Russia's Pearl Harbor.
Oh God, that's maggot. Yeah, yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was very strategically done. Do you know how
Yeah.
smart it was? Did you read about what they did?
Oh, it's Neptune and Aries.
Oh yeah.
It's Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. It's the something, I get the image of like the Dirty Dozen or these
Hmm.
intricate war movies where they're doing all this,
Yeah,
like bringing, I mean, it's so, the movie is going to be amazing
I know.
about this.
So all
And
these truck roofs opened at the same time to let these drones out, and the truck drivers had no idea.
no idea. It's so Jupiter and Gemini.
Yeah.
And Mercury and Gemini. And it happened a couple of days after Mercury Kazemi. So it
Yes.
really, and they say that Zelensky okayed it himself. So I see that as like the people came to Zelensky, the team Mercury, and the
Hmm.
sun says, go for it. And three
Yeah.
days later, still under the beam, so really
Hmm.
in secret, they launched this spectacular um, offensive. And yeah,
40% of Russian planes, I think,
yeah,
were taken out.
$7 billion of damage with
Mm.
very little money. Venus and Aries, very little
Yeah.
resources in terms of the price. But
Hmm.
Mercury and Aries, Mercury and Gemini, it's just like the
Yeah.
magician energy and tremendous success. When are they going to get their medals? Is
I
that going
know.
to be with Jupiter and Cancer?
Could be.
Zelensky's going to pin medals on all the people who are
Mhm.
involved, maybe on the 14th. That could be something
Maybe.
that's going on. Yeah.
Oh, I hope he
Or
does.
the 18th. Yeah.
Oh, well, Celeste, it's going to be an interesting journey as well. But I'm very happy that Jupiter's going into Cancer.
Oh, yes.
I mean, not only is it exalted, it's my ruling planet, but also it's connected with so many other shifts, right now. Like, as you mentioned, Venus going into Taurus, Uranus will go into Gemini on July the 7th as well. And then Mercury and Jupiter both changing signs. It's going to be pretty wild, but really interesting to watch. So,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, and one thing I didn't say
Mm,
is that the moon rules Cancer.
mm,
So every couple of days, as the moon changes signs, Jupiter takes on a little different nature. So I feel like
mm,
this is like spreading the wealth around,
mm,
spreading the abundance because the
mm,
moon rules people. So all, you know, all kinds of different people will get their moment of
mm.
feeling that heart-centered abundance.
But also you might want to hit the cookie jar. So,
Well, yeah.
watch your waistline because Jupiter does expand
That's
everything.
the thing I'm most worried about. I'm a Cancer rising. I'm like, oh, please, I don't want to get fatter.
And interestingly, just seeing what's coming as we approach it, Elon Musk does not look very well, right, with all the stuff going on because it's going through his 12th house, but he's Cancer rising too. And he seems kind of more flabby and bloated, which is kind of very yeah, puffy kind of thing, which can be Jupiter in Cancer. It isn't always, don't but
Well, maybe he can get himself together and go to a sanatorium or something and rest
well,
for the whole year and maybe come back
and
refreshed and
have a big
renewed.
wake up and come back as a Democrat and give all his money to the opposition, or maybe I don't
Yeah, maybe
something.
be generous for
Mhm, mm,
less selfish reasons.
yeah.
Let's
Go and,
give that hope for him.
yeah, he can go and deal with his mommy issues. But anyway, enough of
Mhm.
that. So, poor Elman. But I think overall, big shifts. I think maybe in or child motherly related things, one way or the other. Food systems as well could be. Housing has always shown up, as we mentioned, um,
Mhm.
and the nationalism. We will see that, of course, but
Well,
we
you know
still
what's
can't.
happening with the housing in
Mm,
like places like Spain, and I think this will expand. They told Airbnb they took 66,000 listings off
wow.
because the people in cities like Barcelona can't find housing
Mm,
because so many people are renting things out.
mhm,
So I think there'll be pressure on these like Airbnb,
mm.
VRBO that you can't just or corporations scooping up
Yeah,
tons of houses in the United States. I think California is doing something about that.
BlackRock, they own so much. Most companies like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
So maybe some
they're the
actions against them.
yeah, they're the bad ones, not the individual kind of person that Airbnb is something. It's the ones that swoop in and pay cash, huge amount. Nobody else can compete, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's but anyway, yeah, expect some shifts in that one too. So any last words? And if not, we will say goodbye for now. Maybe we'll come back in 6 months and talk about what's happening, Celeste,
Yeah.
as halfway through the journey.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I could go on and on, so it's probably good
Oh,
to stop
so could I.
now.
So I think we were very restrained, but
But thank you so much for having me, Louise. This
oh,
was
anytime,
fantastic to talk to
anytime.
you about
You
this
too.
transit,
You
one of the
too.
most positive coming of the
Mm,
year.
yeah.
And yeah, people can find me at astrologybyceleste.com.
And do you have anything going on apart from the uh, lovely OPA retreat?
That's the big thing I have
Yeah.
going on. The OPA retreat, my transits class at Kepler will come back September 15th.
Mm.
And I will be speaking with Kepler Symposium in September. Kepler College is having a symposium in Niagara Falls.
Mm.
And I need to get my next set of classes together. I just have been so busy.
I know, me too. Well, I'm publishing a book, so it's
Ooh.
in formatting now, and it'll be out on July the 13th. It's on series, Dwarf Planet series. So,
Oh, well, maybe you can come on my
uh,
Instagram
oh, I'd
and we
love to.
talk about your book.
Love to. Hmm.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
I can't wait to hear about that.
Okay. All right. Well, for now, goodbye from me and goodbye from Celeste, and we'll see you next time.